Hey YouTube, Matt here. I just wanted to share a quick video because I was getting a lot of questions about how not to get scammed by buying and selling on Craigslist, and how to check things for the phone and see if it's going to be a good sale or not. So a lot of people sell things on there, and they may tell you one thing, but it's not like it. This is Craigslist, so you don't really know who you're dealing with. I like to deal with Facebook groups, going through Facebook and talking to people, buying through there, because you can actually see who you're talking to, you know what they look like and what they do. So they're a lot less likely to scam you or do something like that. But there are ways to avoid getting scammed, and one that I like to do is to check the serial numbers of the phones, specifically for Verizon and Sprint devices, because they have their CDMA phones. That's the technology they use, and you can't just pop a SIM card out like you can on AT&T and switch phones. It's more embedded. So sometimes you can't activate it if the ESN is not clear. And I'm going to define ESN for you so you know. ESN is just electronic serial number. And when you hear people say, "Oh, is the ESN clear?" or "It has a bad ESN," if the ESN is clear, the phone can be used and can be activated and is worth a lot more. If the ESN is bad, meaning there is they filed it as lost or stolen, there's an outstanding bill or balance, or let's see what else, bill, balance, or it's active, or they're currently using it on their account, and you can't activate it if that's the case. So the value is a lot less, and you can't use it. So especially if you're trying to use it for yourself and not just resell it, it is check the ESN. And what I do to check is by going to checkesnfree.com. This is the best site that I found. There are others. You can go to Verizon's website directly, but with Check ESN Free, you just go there and you can type it in. I'll show you what it actually lets you do. I brought down the drop-down menu so you can see. You can check. It says Sprint at the top. You cannot check Sprint phones at this time. Check the date of this video, because Sprint's you're not able to check online anywhere. The best way to check a Sprint ESN is to call customer care, but I found that if you call them and ask them about the serial number, they'll tell you, and then you can call back and you'll get a whole different story. So it really depends on who you talk to and how much digging they do into that phone, because I don't know how their software works, but when they go in there to check, they don't do a thorough job. If they tell you real quick, "Oh yeah, it's clear," then they just do something. You need to call back and talk to somebody, because the way the system works, it takes them a while. Because I've had it to where they said, "Oh yeah, it's clear," and then I sell the phone and the guy goes, "It's not clear," and then I call back and the next guy's checking to it more and says, "Oh yeah, it's been stolen." I'm like, what? So don't do Sprint. This is the reason a lot of people just don't buy Sprint phones altogether, and I don't blame you. But you know, there's a good opportunity to make money there, so I definitely buy them. So just call customer care, and you can do that while you're staying with the customer. Just be like, "Hey, I just want to be thorough. Just want to make sure," and they understand, especially if they're not out to get you. So another one I like to do is the Verizon. If you see that right below it, that's an awesome one to use. I use it all the time because Verizon phones, they're iffy as well, and if you just type it in here, it'll tell you if it's clear or not, and you don't have to worry about It doesn't tell you if it's stolen or what the deal is, but if it's not clear, it'll tell you to call customer care to verify, or it'll just come up in big red letters, "Not clear." So be aware when you're looking at that. Another thing that's fairly new is the IMEI blacklist, and this is for AT&T and T-Mobile phones. I really hate this because AT&T and T-Mobile phones used to be like no big deal. Like the values were so high because there's no worry about people going to list them as stolen. And even if they did, you could just take the SIM card out and you wouldn't even know personally if it was stolen or not. But unfortunately, they've changed the way it works, and I guess it's really helping the customers who lost their phone. But at the same time, for me and you who are selling them, it sucks because you get that guy on Craigslist who's like, "Yeah, here it is, like great phone," and then you check the IMEI blacklist, it says it's clear, and they go straight over to the store and they file an insurance claim and say they got it stolen, even though they just sold it and made money off of it. Yeah, they'd have to pay a deductible, but typically there's a little profit margin for them. I don't know how they live with themselves, but there are people out there like that. So just be aware and check the IMEI of any device. So really nowadays, you got to check every time you buy a phone, especially if you're buying a $500 iPhone, or like like anything, iPhone 4s especially. Anyway, so that's my video. I wanted to just share that. I will cover some other things if you want. Please comment below. Just let me know if there's some things that you don't understand or you need some help. I'm here to help. I want people to learn about this stuff. It's interesting to me, and I've made a lot of money doing it, and I want you to too. Thanks.